Hi everybody, welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. We are stood right outside North Pier this blowy but sunny morning, and this video is going to go from busy to a lot more quiet. So I reckon there's all these people have just got off a tram because one's just gone through. So we stood at the end of Talbot Road opposite North Pier. So you see all the work that's going off. There's the hotel being renovated, the old Clifton at the left. The new Yates is being, just about finished off in the centre. North Pier's a hive of activity. They're doing all kinds of different things, and we're going to walk this way this morning. We're going to walk from busy central Blackpool to the quieter confines of the North Shore area. So this is North Pier to Gynn. Gin as in the alcoholic beverage, spelt Gynn. Here we come, there's another tram. As you can see, Blackpool is feeling very much like it's come back to life again. So the businesses and the hoteliers will all be taking advantage of the lovely weather and the holiday makers to try and earn some money back that they've lost this year. So this is the Cenotaph. We're going to walk round the seaward side of the Cenotaph, round the back of the Metropole Hotel, which is that one. The main road carries on down there, but we're going to go this way. So it's a more scenic view this way. So the Cenotaph is where all of the remembrance services are held, and the Armed Forces Week events in June in a normal year, having said that. And the seafront here was actually kind of, one of the bits where it all started off, because this is Princess Parade from North Pier, which is where we just come from, to Cocker Square. Now I'm going to show you where Cocker Square is when we get there, but this bit of promenade was built and opened in 1912, and it was opened by Princess Louise, hence why it's called Princess Parade. And the Illuminations actually started down here to mark the opening of the sea wall. The lights were put down here, and there was such a hit when Princess Louise came that was it. The rest, as they say, is history. So I'm just wandering over here because I'm going to just show you this colonnade. If you're familiar with Blackpool Seafront, you perhaps know this curved concrete colonnade structure, and there's a series of them that go down towards Gynn Roundabout. We've covered them in another video, so we'll put the link to that in the description below. But this one underneath the Metropole Hotel was actually bricked in the war to be used as an air raid shelter, and I didn't know that. Tell you, I'm finding out all kinds of different things while I'm doing these videos for you. And on that plaster pediment thing up there, it actually says 1912. So that was built when this promenade was built. Amazing. And while we're here, another little known fact: these illuminations are what's called the fluted pylons. And if you can see just there's a little red dot. That's an information sign that tells you a bit more about them. And these are a fairly recent copy of one of the very early illuminations that were put up on this site. So as you can see, there's a row of them along the seafront. So we're going to walk northwards, she says, hesitated a second, with the sea on our left, and we're going to head towards Gynn Square. So you might remember, if you're as old as I am, you might remember this old crazy golf course And I did a video a few weeks ago where I walked through the crazy golf as I went on my way into Blackpool. And it was only that same day when I went back to the office that I discovered that the crazy golf is actually being restored and renovated, and it's going to be run as a social enterprise by a charity to help homeless people to get back into a normal life and back into work. And you're probably thinking that these little shelters look a little bit worse for wear. Well, bearing in mind that they're kind of 100 plus years old and it's all the original ironwork, I think you'll be a little bit worse for wear. And Blackpool Council are continually repainting them. They're done probably every couple of years, I would say. But when you've got the might of all that hammering every side all day, every day, I mean, at the minute it looks lovely because it's August and it's just a breeze and it's a lovely day, but believe me, it is so rough. So when you see how it gets hammered and battered by the weather, you can understand why everything gets worn, shall we say. It's a lovely walk though along this promenade. This is the highest spot along Blackpool Seafront, so it's where you get the best views. And obviously in an evening the sunsets are spectacular, and the sun setting over the Irish Sea, it's just a sight for sore eyes. So if you come into this spot, you might be wondering where you can park. So probably Talbot Road is a good place to park. So that was where we started this video, where the hotels were that were being the one that was being done up and the new one that was being built. That's Talbot Road going up there. So up there's a big Sainsbury's, multi-storey, and various other different car parks. They're all signed. And there is some seafront parking as well, which neatly brings us to Cocker Square. So you might be able to see that there's a gap in the buildings on the right hand side, and a little hut. That's Cocker Square. So this is the end of where the original 1912 promenade was built. And that's a car park as well. Now if you use that one, you need to be careful because there are two different car parks there. The one nearest to us now is a Blackpool Council car park, and the one nearest to that big brick wall is a privately owned one. So there are two different ticket machines. You need to get the right one for the right car park. So because we've gone up a slope, the seafront is in sort of two sections here, so you can go down there and carry on along the edge of the beach. You can see how high we're getting, and the sea is just starting to splash against the edge. Or you can carry on along the road. So we're going to carry on along the road, and we're going to go down to Gynn Square, which is not square at all, it's a roundabout, just to confuse you. So just going back to the Metropole, it's the only seaward hotel on the Fylde coast, so it's the only hotel between the tramway and the seafront. I would imagine a lot of property developers would like to change that status quo, but nonetheless, all these years later, it still remains the only one that's there. So we're now walking along the top of the Colonnades, and when we get a little bit further up, you'll be able to see what I mean. As I said, there's another separate video about the Colonnades where we've gone down onto the lower level and we've looked at the actual Colonnades in more detail. So these Colonnades were built in 1924. and they replaced the sandy grassy bank that used to be here. In fact, the main shopping road at Bispham is called Red Bank Road. I don't need to tell you, do I, why Red Bank Road got its name? Because at the end of it there was a red bank down to the beach. The soil was obviously red and sandy. I think there's some weather going in actually. We've had a few rainy days again this week, so I've dodged out to come and do some videos while it's sunny, but there is quite a bit of cloud starting to blow up, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing as well, so apologies if this is a bit windy noisy. We'll do our best. So the whole of Blackpool Seafront is pretty much lined in hotels, so you can take your pick from where you want to stop. And if you are coming to stop in Blackpool, we've got a search facility on the Visit Fylde Coast website where you can search properties and find where you want to stay, and you know, say you want 2 rooms and for 2 nights on 24th of October kind of thing. And if you use that function, it doesn't make any difference at all to the amount of money that you pay, but we get a very small affiliate payment for providing that marketing service, and it all helps to keep Visit Fylde Coast running and to keep us publishing for you, because the amount of time it takes to make videos and publish websites, and then of course there's the money it costs to keep everything online, so every little helps, as a famous supermarket says. So this is the top, this is the roof of one of the colonnades. I'm just going to turn around and show you the view back to Blackpool. So you can see there's a walkway underneath the path that I'm stood on, and then when we get down here, when we get down to the other side, you'll see what the colonnades look like from the front. So this is the footpath in this gap here. This is the footpath that takes you down onto the seafront. Not particularly advisable to go down there in a gloomy, dark day, I think. So looking from this end, you can see what the colonnades look like. So they were built in 1924, and they were built to show off the natural assets of Blackpool. So they were built to show off how beautiful the seafront is, and for people to promenade and walk up and down and show all the best clothes off. And frankly, with the way that everything's going to be closed this year, I think we're going to all be promenading again this year. Maybe promenading is going to come back into fashion. So you can see that there are just hotels after hotels after hotels. So there's a place for everybody here. And the thing that I've always really loved about Blackpool is that you can just be yourself, and you can do whatever you want to do within reason, as long as it's decent, and nobody looks at you. It's just like anything goes. I didn't mean be antisocial, I meant in a good way. So this is the Imperial Hotel on the right hand side. That's another historic, interesting building. Been in there a few times for different reasons, and it's a beautiful building inside. A lot of original details and features. And here comes the Blackpool tram delivering the next load of passengers. So it's just going to come past us. You ready? toot. Lovely to ride on. If you suffer from travel sickness like I do, and you're in Blackpool, catch a tram, because it's a lot smoother, more pleasant experience. So this video today is a little bit longer than perhaps they might normally be, and we're going to walk down to the Gynn Roundabout, and then we'll pick this up again at the other end and rejoin you. So I've legged it fair way down the promenade. We left you a little bit further in that direction, and I've just stopped, I've just paused here because at the side of where the Grand Hotel is, can you remember when Derby Road Baths used to be there? Derby Baths, not Derby Road Baths. I can't remember ever going in it, but apparently we did. And the other thing I was just going to show you as well is the Cherry Blossom Hotel. Now, interestingly, every time me and my mum have passed in the car over the years, we've said, I wonder if that's any connection to shoe polish. And we got a local historian talking to us at an event fairly recently, and indeed it is. Apparently it was originally built by the guy that invented and first sold cherry blossom shoe polish. So there you have it. Next time you pass in, you'll know the answer to that one. And this is a question for anybody that might be local or much more nosy than I am. What are they doing with that building? It's been covered up in scaffolding for ages, and I think at one point it was just about collapsing, because if you remember, they've got the road closed, and they're obviously literally knocking it inside out. They're rebuilding and restoring the original pointed dormer roofs upstairs, and they're doing an absolute fettle of a job to it, and my curiosity is killing me. I think my gut feeling is that they're converting it to residential, but I'd love to know. So if you know, put a comment below and solve the riddle. So we're nearly at Gynn Roundabout here. Right, so I've chopped a little bit of the walking out for you, and you can see that building that we were just looking at there. I nearly went across and asked the workmen, and I thought, no, focus Jane, focus. So this is Gynn Square, which, as you can see, it's not square, it's round, it's a roundabout. So here you're at a major intersection in the Blackpool area. So this is the roundabout that has the big Illuminations displays on it. So here there's been a carousel with horses, there's been the rocket tram was here for quite some time, and this year it's going to have a Spitfire. It's a full-size replica Spitfire, and it's going to be, in fact we'll just cross the road and I'll just go over here and show you. It's going to be in the middle of the roundabout, and it's going to be lit up and commemorating armed forces and various different things. So at the moment it's not much to look at, but in another few days it will all be transformed. So that road straight in front of you there, that one, that's the main road inland, and that brings you down to the next sort of main road. Oh, it's frightened me to death. That brings you down to the next main road, and that's Warbrick Water Tower, if you can just see it through the gap. That road is Dickinson Road, and that takes you up round the back to the big Sainsbury's and that car park, and there is a garden over there as well. We've not been to explore that yet. That's the rock gardens, and as you can see there's a big surface car park there, which is useful if you want to park to stop in this area. So that's Jubilee Gardens, the seafront park, and we've done another video about that. Unfortunately it wasn't quite as sunny as it is now, but nonetheless it's an interesting walk through the gardens. And there's also as well here some public toilets. You need to know where all the public toilets are. So that's Jubilee Gardens, and this is the public toilets. So they're Danforth ones. I think they're 30 pence at the minute. Let's have a look, and then we know. They were 20 and they went up recently. Oh, it's 40. Hey, it's 40 pence. Goodness me, inflation. Coins accepted, no change given. And then let's just walk around here and I'll show you where we are relative to the rest of the seafront. So you can see North Pier in the distance. The sea's coming and it's making that lovely whooshy wavy noise for us. There's a little hole in the wall cafe down there as well. You can see people sat enjoying a cup of tea. And this is the seafront heading to Blackpool. Heading to Bispham, sorry. Wrong way around. That is the old boating lake, which is now a go-kart track. And that is the cabin. So that's the cabin lift. It doesn't lift you up and down the cliff, but it's a historically interesting building. So that's our seafront walk all the way from North Pier to Gynn Roundabout. So if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, give it a big thumbs up. Pop any questions that you've got in the comments below. Make sure that you've subscribed for our weekly email newsletter, and you'll find out about all the interesting hidden things that there are in the Blackpool area and along the Fylde coast. All the things that you can come and explore and enjoy. And hit that bell for notifications as well when you've subscribed, because we're plodding through the different content on Visit Fylde Coast, making brand new videos. So if you've subscribed and you get notifications, you'll know when new content is uploaded. So you have a lovely day and we'll see you soon. Bye.